Scrappers, Tom from the iScrap app. Today is Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021. We hope that you are doing well, staying busy, scrapping often, staying healthy. And if you're located in the Northeast where we got pummeled with snow, we hope that you finally have plowed out your driveways, your walkways, had a snow blower handy, didn't do too much shoveling, as that always is a disaster. And it's always one of my least favorite things to do. I got off of having to do any snow cleaning this week, but I'm doing okay, so don't go worrying about me. Everyone is doing well. Here we are, February 3rd, every Wednesday at 1 p.m. we try to go live. So if you have questions for us, ask them during this time. If you get to watch this video after the fact, not a big deal. We'll always get back to those questions if other scrappers aren't able to get those answers to you quicker than we can. Excuse me. As we go live, ask questions. If you have not downloaded the iScrap app, we advise that you do, as we send notifications on different market moving, whether it's price increases, price decreases, or new blogs or articles that are out and available to give you a better idea of what's going on in the market. So make sure you download the iScrap app today. Now, over the last week, we have seen markets go down, and let's start with the steel and the iron market, which has continued to be on a decline. Going into the month of February, we expect to see further market drops. Now, these drops are definitely going to be coming in hot and heavy, but think about the increases that we saw November, December, January. We saw $100 per ton added to the markets. Now, those market increases, yeah, they were fantastic, but what did we say the whole time? We don't like quick market increases. We want to be able to see slow and steady, not $15 to $20 per ton jumping up every week. When that happens, it's a real problem, because when you have prices jump that high so fast, multiple things happen. Larger scrap yards, larger dealers, machine processors, demolition guys that could have been holding hundreds, if not thousands of tons of steel, they flood the markets. So that's one of the things that we saw in December and January. We'll talk about the markets being flooded, but we have a couple of questions.
So Brian asked, hey Tom, what's all the futures look like for February? Thanks. And then also just a quick shout out from Russell. He said, thanks for doing this each week.
Russell, it's always a pleasure. It's one of my favorite parts of the week. Apologize for missing last week's. So to go back to the original question, Brian, the aluminum futures for the month of February are down slightly, a few cents a pound, but they did not take the hits that we saw in the steel market. And copper, actually, we thought it was going to be a bigger hit than it was, but it really kind of leveled itself down, so we look to be in good shape. So let's go back to the steel and the iron markets. When those large price increases happen, the markets really get flooded very quickly. And that's exactly what happened in December and January, as predicted. We saw the markets getting flooded with a massive amount of material. Once that material flooded into the market, we saw the prices starting to decrease. We saw the mills and the different furnaces domestically in the United States not able to keep up with the supply because so many contracts were getting taken out. And one of the biggest problems with exporting overseas was there weren't barges shipping nearly as frequently. So those barges that load hundreds and hundreds and thousands of tons of steel at a time, those weren't shipping overseas to Turkey and India nearly as quick as they had been, whether it was transportation, trade disputes, just a bunch of things that were going on that were really limiting the market. And unfortunately, that has been shown going into February after seeing a very uncommon large price decrease in the second half of January. We normally see prices kind of stabilized for a month at a time, and you hear rumblings, and that's why you tune in every week to learn about what could be going on with the market. So right now we're hearing more drops are coming in steel and iron, but we're going to stay tuned over the next couple of weeks. Don't forget, we're in such a very crazy time right now, talking about $2 trillion stimulus, new president in office, new Congress, new Senate, new laws, new climate initiatives, new, and it takes a few months for things to be able to settle themselves down. And don't forget, you just sprinkle in a little COVID in there, and it certainly creates a very different time. Yeah, we got a question.
We have a question from Rich.
Okay, hey Rich.
What about aluminum rims?
Yeah.
I'm sitting on about 50,000 pounds.
Yeah, it's a great amount of material, and a couple of pieces of advice that I would have on aluminum rims right now. 50,000 pounds is a significant amount. So if you look at it and you start to do quick market math, how much more are you looking for? 5 cents a pound, so that's $2,500. So every penny is $500 essentially. So when you start to work with larger processors of aluminum that are looking to buy those rims, when they have big lots like that coming in, they're going to be extremely picky from what I've seen, not only in my own experience selling them myself at the scrapyard, but also just working with other people that sell large amounts from different auto wreckers that we're friends with. They get really, really tight when it comes to the nipples on them, the wheel weights, chrome versus non-chrome, truck rims versus non-truck rims, making sure that everything is perfectly clean, palletized, shrink wrapped, everything ready. But right now we see some really strong market prices. If you'd like to direct message us, I could give you a couple of market rates to let you know where things are going and find out where you are and whether or not we can do business together, or I can provide a name for you to be able to do business with. It's always good to be able to work together, and especially here at iScrap and Rockaway Recycling and RR Cats, we work with so many scrap yards and traders and processors across the country. We're always looking to connect people, and if you direct message us, we'll be sure to get you some very quick information back, or at least point you in a better direction. While we're on the topic of aluminum, while we've had a couple of questions about it, the market has been relatively steady. As you see behind me today, a lot of the prices are gray, which means they haven't really moved in the last day or so. We saw a few market drops in the last couple of days and then a little stabilization. And being here in the Northeast, we got hammered with this snowstorm, which is going to really delay some of the reported prices in part of the country getting pushed out there. But as we continue to upgrade the iScrap app in the next few months, we're going to make it easier for you to report prices, which is going to help you learn where the markets are, learn more about different price averages, and lots of really, really positive pieces of news. Let's talk about catalytic converters. The team over at rrcats.com is looking to quote and of course buy your catalytic converters, whether you have pictures of them from the top down or you have serial numbers that you're looking to have run and get quoted on. The team at rrcats.com is offering free shipping to almost every single quote that we're putting out there, so we'd love to be able to buy your catalytic converters. Of course, there's always going to be naysayers that say, prices are low, but what's nice about the team at rrcats.com, we're transparent. We're posting prices, we're giving you quick results, and a lot of other web services where you can find prices on, they're not actually buying material from you. And that's one of the biggest things that we've learned over the last few years, where a lot of people will quote things, but they'll never put the dollar where their mouth is. They'll always try to knock that price down or say that they're not held to those prices and the markets have changed, where our team quotes you and holds those prices for 7 business days, which is almost 2 full weeks when you factor in weekends, to be able to get materials shipped in and paid for quickly. Now, we've seen platinum prices drop down from around $22,000 an ounce to $18,000. Today, we're trading above $20,000 an ounce again. So in the last week, we've seen prices up about 11% overall. On the palladium side of things, today we're trading around $2,238 an ounce, which is roughly 2 to 3% higher where we were a short week ago. On platinum, we're around $1,078, which is slightly higher by about 2% from where we were a week ago. We saw a little market upticks. We saw platinum a little higher where it was. Palladium is at its highest point. Rhodium is at its highest point over the last 7 days. And by going to rrcats.com, you can learn about different market news, prices, and just give you a better idea of where different markets are. A couple of prices that you can look for: medium foreign cats on average between $190 and $200, regular domestics $100 to $130. Now there's high grade domestics, there's large foreigns, extra large, exotic, aftermarkets. When we look at bread loaf cats, the price right now could be anywhere from $200 to $500 depending on the size bread loaf, the serial number. Some people think that the larger bread loaves are worth more money, where in reality the smaller bread bread loaves are most commonly found to be worth more money. So let the team at rrcats.com not only provide you with market news, but quote you and buy your catalytic converters on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, where we also offer refining options. So if you have a lot of cats and you want to get paid off of your refinement, just let us know because we're ready to buy them from you. Now let's switch back to some non-ferrous news. Copper over the last week, while we've seen market movement, the erosion in the market we saw over the last 3 days has been coupled by an increase today, kind of leveled itself out. Although last Tuesday and Wednesday we saw about a 10-cent market decrease, which of course caused a ripple effect where people were worried. We saw the stock market in a bit of a flummox going on with these crazy GameStop traders and AMC theaters and short sellers and things that you probably couldn't care less about. Neither do I, but I do care that when it affects the stock market and affects commodities in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to have my ears perked up. We're always going to provide that news to you as we see it. Don't forget, mentioned it before, downloading the iScrap app, it gives you the ability to get notifications sent to you. And one of the best things that we've seen recently has actually been our Patreon supporters, where they have been signing up, getting daily market news, and then weekly extra bonus news that other people aren't seeing from the team here at the iScrap app to teach you more about the scrap market and just give you a better idea of where the markets are. So copper's doing well. We're going to be introducing a new segment in our weekly reports talking about the metal of the month. This month our metal is copper, and some of the things that we were going to go over, but we're always open to ideas where you can find it. Highest prices, different places to look for it. So if there's a metal that you don't know a lot about or want to learn more about, let our team know, and every month we're going to have one metal that we highlight, and almost every week we'll give you a couple of different tips on it, and we'd love to hear your different reactions, ideas, and of course just your general opinions as well. Scrappers, today is Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021. We hope you're staying safe, healthy, busy. Don't have too much snow around you. If you do, get rid of that snow, and just know one of the big tips that we tell people to look for right now, when you go to sell scrap, if you have snow, if you have ice, your scrapyard is almost guaranteed going to be deducting weight. So do your best to clean it as best as possible, and when you do clean your loads of material, point it out to your scrap yards. Hey, there's no snow in this load. Please come and look at this before you take a big deduction for ice or snow or contamination. Take pictures of the materials that you're selling beforehand. It gives your scrap yards the idea not only that you know what you're doing, but they have to be on their toes, paying attention a little more. Please download the iScrap app, become a Patreon supporter, sell your cats to rrcats.com, and of course, tune in every single week so it gives us the opportunity to give you the different scrap metal market news that we see going on. As we add to our team in the coming weeks and months, we look forward to hearing your ideas so we can materialize them and help you make more money with your scrap. Scrappers, this is Tom from the iScrap app. Until next week, enjoy the big game, and I'll scrap you later.